What's something that you silently judge people for? People who just stop walking as soon as they enter a door. It happens so many times at grocery stores. Move out of the way, please. You are not the only person trying to use the door. Similarly, people who stop at the bottom/top of escalators. That one is actually dangerous, too. Or people stopping as soon as they get into the underground train. For fuck's sake, Marco, there's 6 people behind you who need to get on too. Walk 3 more steps and get out the way. Come to India. If you don't move, you will be moved. They push you as if their life depends on getting on that train. I always judge people who stop in the middle of grocery store aisles to have long, passionate conversations with the cereal boxes. It's like they're auditioning for America's Got Shelf awareness. Hyping themselves up too much. Saying shit like that wouldn't fly with me, everyone knows not to mess with me, or people look up to me, or I'll have your back until you cross me. Like, bro, this isn't a movie, relax. I don't think these people understand that the more you have to hype yourself up, the less people actually think that of you. Reminds me of the Andrew Tate tweet about staying up all night preparing for Mortal Kombat. On this note, I find myself judging self-proclaimed Andrew Tate fans who are older than 20. Biet he is CTO li maks go on po in ts. You can also find someone else making the same good points about certain topics without also being a shitty human being in other aspects. That's actually part of the grift. Make just enough sense to bring them in, then sell them the solution. People who pick up fresh meat or a cooked chicken in the supermarket and decide they don't want it, but are too lazy to take it back to where they got it from. So they just dump it on a random shelf. So lazy, selfish and wasteful. Something had to die to become food for someone, and now it will just be thrown in the garbage. I work in a supermarket and this drives me insane. The amount of things dumped in the freezer too. Wasteful assholes. I worked in a supermarket for work experience for a week, and I am never going to put something back in the wrong place ever again. Putting stuff in the wrong place is a little annoying, sure, but I'd be less pissed if they were, for example, dumping their milk with the meat instead of the freezer. Laziness is annoying, but food wastage makes me so damn angry. Not using your turn signals. God works in mysterious ways, but you don't have to. Use the damn turn signal. When I was still religious, my old youth group went on a 40+ hour road trip to Arizona. We stayed there for 5 days. One of the youth leaders drove extremely dangerous at times. When driving up a twisty mountain, he passed a car illegally when he couldn't see what's on the bend in front of us. He could have easily killed a van full of a dozen kids. He also never used his turn signal. His reasoning is that only bad drivers use turn signals. I don't know what's more terrifying. That story or the fact he is allowed to influence children. Yup. I silently judge people who don't use their turn signals, but hey, maybe they're just waiting for God to send them a sign. Or an accident report. Littering. You are 100% a trash human if you throw trash on the ground. I don't care who you are, or what you look like, or where you come from. 100% trash. Does it count as littering if I throw people who litter on the ground, since I'm throwing trash away? People are biodegradable. Plastic isn't. There's plastic in people now. Haven't you heard? We made it so pervasive in the environment that it's now a part of us. Shit. I am become trash. If I see someone litter, I can't help but think they missed the memo about being a responsible Earth tenant. Hashtag trashy behavior. Hello, ever wonder what secretly triggers our judgmental side? Well, here's your chance to spill the beans. Comment below with your guilty pleasures of silent judgments. Let's uncover those little quirks that keep us entertained. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. People who throw/leave their trash in a parking lot. Especially a bag of food wrappers and your drink cup perfectly placed on the line of the parking spot. People who do that are fucking scumbags. Worse, people who let their half sandwich to rot in a public park so my dog eats it and gets sick. Worse, dirty diapers left on the ground. Worse, dirty diapers left on a table in a restaurant. As I look at those who strategically place their trash in parking spots, I can't help but think they miss their calling as professional garbage decorators. People who are oblivious to their kids' shitty behavior in restaurants, supermarkets, anywhere. People just do not pay attention to their kids in public. I work at a resort pool with no lifeguards on duty ever because it's a liability. People legit will leave their small children unattended to get wasted at the pool bar. We had a 4-year-old once who was with us for 2 hours because we couldn't locate mom. When we finally found her, drunk, and asked if she was missing her kid, her response was, "Oh, I don't know. Probably. I hate it so much." And then when something happens to the kid, they yell at you for not watching them. I used to work in a library and the parents were the worst. They would dump their kids there and wander off. Then when we would tell them they couldn't leave them alone, they would tell us something about how it was our job to watch the kids. A library is not a free daycare. I silently judge people who let their dogs bark incessantly without recognizing that they've trained them to be the neighborhood's very own furry alarm clock. #sleepless in suburbia. People who don't flush and doesn't wash their hands after using a toilet. It's really disgusting considering we just got done with a pandemic. Still, a lot of people doesn't have the proper basic hygiene. It really aggravates me, NGL. This bothered me greatly before the pandemic. You'd think with the PSAs everywhere about hand washing that it would improve, right? Not one bit. Disgusting. I really appreciate it when bathrooms have those foot pedals on the doors so you don't need to touch a handle. Don't see them enough. I quit going to buffets when I saw some dude walk straight out of a stall, past the sink I was washing my hands at, then saw the disgusting pig at the buffet I was going to get. I got a menu instead. Being bad parents. Parenting with no regard for the education of raising a healthy human being/member of society. Parents like to talk about it being their business how they choose to raise their child, but they neglect to give a flying fuck about the fact that one day their child is going to be the world's problem. 1000% it is our business. Your child will impact the community as a whole. Not to mention that damaged people tend to do damage and the cycle continues. It affects our society. Blaring their music on a hiking trail. Wear headphones or sit in your car to listen to that shit. I'm here for the peace and nature sounds, not your effing crap EDM. I judge people who blast their favorite podcasts instead of the harmonious sounds of birds. I'm just here hoping for some educational chirping, not your effing Joe Rogan. Not performing the Dracula cough or sneeze and just unleashing it into the open air. I find worse the thing a lot of older people tend to do, cough with their fist held about an inch from their mouth, like that is doing anything other than also contaminating the hand you are not going to wash. What is the thought process? My mom sneezes directly into her hand. It pains me so much, and I've pointed it out, but she gets defensive easily. It makes my one eye twitch. Dracula cough, haha. Whenever someone hogs the entire armrest on an airplane, it's like they're auditioning for the role of armrest empress. #no rest for the rest. Manners. You can drive a shitty car, be homeless and dress funny, but if you are rude, I am gonna judge. The flip side is true too. If someone is polite and respectful, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt every chance I get. It's so easy to be nice. I always judge people who use emojis in their work emails. Like, are you trying to win the award for most enthusiastic professional or confuse the heck out of me? People scrolling on their phones when someone is talking to them. Though if I'm the one talking to them I loudly judge them. Hate that so much. Just went on a trip with a no longer good friend who did that the whole time. Just flat out ignored anything I'd say, then a minute or two later go, huh? At one point a couple dolphins swam past the little boat we were on. She didn't even have a signal but was still glued to the phone, and I said, "Hey dolphins," which she ignored. Then proceeded to get furious at me once she realized what she missed, because I didn't even try to get her attention. Christ's sake. I had a bonfire with some people once and they were all glued to their phones. There was no conversation. I tried talking but they kept going, huh? And just looking at their phone. They just seemed like they weren't even physically present at all. Just a glazed look and not even aware of the bonfire or anything. I made food and they didn't make anything, they just were staring at their phones in the dark. It was depressing, lol. I now just have bonfires alone. People who chew with their mouth open. You'd be surprised. This one is so disgusting. Or how about when they smack while they chew? But I especially hate people who bite the forks and spoons. The noise of silverware on teeth makes my skin crawl. It hurts my teeth when other people do that. Yeah, I hate that too. I remember doing that by accident as a kid and it hurt like hell. Hearing people bite their forks has bothered me ever since. I always judge people who chew with their mouth open. It's like they're auditioning for America's Got Munching Skills.